Hi, I'm Roxanne McDonald and I'm descended from the Central Queensland mob. You know, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander adolescents often experience more stressful life events, such as serious health disability or the death of family members, than mainstream teenagers. They're also more likely to experience poverty and homelessness. This makes them particularly vulnerable during the difficult and confusing years of adolescence. They need to be nurtured and encouraged. And in this program, we'll be looking at 3 inspiring examples of projects that have been designed to do just that, including a football academy in Western Australia.
The East Kimberley Footy Academy is an educational life skills program. It's not just a football program that operates under the umbrella of Kununurra District High School.
Well, let's go, boys.
Football for Indigenous boys is almost like a religion. It is just a really strong passion. And these boys' self-esteem is often very low because in the education system, because they're so far behind, they haven't attended school, they are consistently getting very negative messages. Most of the guys are very skilled at football, so all of a sudden their self-esteem improves because they've been told they're fantastic players, they watch themselves on videos, they see their photos in the paper. So that's a very important part of the program.
You got it.
The program at Kununurra District High School works in sort of almost 2 sections. What we have is a number of what we call mainstream boys whose attendance before Clontarf arrived was reasonable, behaviour standards are reasonable, there's a reasonable amount of family support. Those guys are all members of the East Kimberley Footy Academy, however they stay in normal mainstream classes for their education. We also have a second section called our CALS class, which is the Clontarf Academy Life Skills class. This class is run for boys with less family support, at-risk students, very low literacy and numeracy levels. We do a lot of work readiness, a lot of diet, healthy living, and just a whole series of life skills that we're trying to put into the boys.
Yeah, when they're ready, you can have what's it like? Have a look at the veggies. Lift them off. Beautiful.
Fridays we work on cooking a meal. We all cook a meal up, so they're cooking a roast dinner. So we had them peeling the spuds and, you know, all the basic sort of stuff, but washing their hands, learning the basic skills of hygiene, the whole idea of preparation, the whole idea of then serving it and serving it in a systematic way, then the clean up, the wash up. So the modelling overall, the approach I've taken for many years is trying to use ordinary activities and to make them a vehicle for that broader educational journey.
The Australian curriculum includes 3 cross-curriculum priorities. One of them relates to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander histories and cultures, their significance for Australia and their impact on our world.
Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander perspectives are important to embed across the curriculum because all people in schools, whether they're children or teachers, are living in Australia. And Australia has the fortunate position of having the world's longest living culture. And if that is left by the roadside, it actually devalues Australian society because you don't get the rich cultural diversity that you have, or we have as Australians. If you can imagine Australia without dot paintings, without kangaroos, without koalas, without the laid back way that Australians are, all of those things have come from the land, which Aboriginal people are always saying that that's where we're from. That's the reason we are the way that we are. And so unless those cultural or that cultural knowledge is embedded across the curriculum, then there is a deficit in the education model because you can't learn about Australia without learning about Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander culture.
My background is a commerce teacher. In terms of, for example, barter, the basis of our society before we had money society, Aboriginals had a very sophisticated system of barter. Now the Yarrabunna community where I come are very rich in ochre, So I use that as an example of a bartering where they would meet with other Aboriginal groups and what they're short on is trees and wood, so they would barter.
Teachers who are new to this might feel overwhelmed. It's important to realise the teacher's role is one of facilitator rather than instructor or expert. An understanding of Indigenous knowledge frameworks is needed, while also being aware of the diversity of languages, customs and cultures. Many Australian schools integrate Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander perspectives in various ways, and have done for a number of years. Programs within the curriculum could incorporate visits to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities and cultural centres, special projects, and commemoration of significant events. Embedding Indigenous perspectives in schools enriches the learning experience for both teachers and students.